We started in a garage with 2 people 30 years ago, and this year, celebrating our 30th anniversary, we have over 3,000 people. The company is growing at over 30% per year, even though we're already over $1.5 billion in revenue. So it's been quite an exciting journey this past 30 years, but I'm really excited for the next 30 years will be even better. The TASER was invented by a NASA scientist named Jack Cover. He was one of the leading scientists on the Apollo moon landing project in 1962, and he left NASA to go create the TASER in the 1960s. But like many technologies, at the beginning it was very buggy. It didn't work very well. And so I found him 30 years later in 1993, and we gave the TASER another try, and this time it worked. Well, compared to the United States, Europe is much safer, much fewer gun crimes. However, we are seeing more and more tension around the world within societies, whether it's, the Israel-Hamas situation, whether it's mass migration from like the war in Syria. These are creating new social challenges for every country, and that means police have to deal with even more complex situations. And our products, whether it's a TASER that's designed to avoid the need to use lethal force, or a body camera that helps protect the public and the police by preserving a record of what really happened in these dangerous scenarios, or even using cloud software so that justice systems can move at the speed of the internet instead of burning things to disk and then moving it around manually. Everything we do is designed to make societies safer by making police more efficient and more transparent in what they do. Well, regardless of who is writing your paycheck, whether it's the government or a private company, the job is still very similar, and that is we pay people to do security jobs to keep us safe, to stop crime, to protect our property, and to protect our children and ourselves from violence. So across that, the ability for police to collaborate and cooperate with their partners in private security, or even with private citizens, like the more they can collaborate, the more effective we'll be at creating a safe society. Yes, so tasers are used widely by both police and by private security, and in fact in the United States the public can carry a taser to protect themselves as well. So safety is one of our most basic needs, right? If you go back to the caveman days, right, your basic needs are food for survival, shelter, and security to protect yourself. In a modern society, that job is, we no longer carry clubs and swords to protect ourselves. We've created police departments and private security to protect us. This is an area, though, where I think technology can make a huge difference. The reason I started this business, I had 2 friends of mine that were shot and killed in America. And what struck me is, why are we still shooting bullets at people? That is a technology that is not medieval. It is before medieval times. Firearms go back to the 11th century. I'm shocked that we don't yet have Captain Kirk's phaser, from science fiction. We should be able to stop people without blowing holes in them with these brutal, weapons made of flying lead. Right? Police still carry batons. That's like a caveman technology. Or they're firing bullets. Our job is to give them better technology, and we believe that'll make the world more civilized and more safe. Any technology that's used for security, also you have to worry about its misuse. So when we think about a taser, it can save lives, but it could also be misused by a police officer who's too aggressive. That's why we created the body cameras. Now cameras can protect people. It protects the police from somebody who lies about what the police officer did, but it also protects the public from the police officer who, when no one is looking, might be too aggressive. But But now when we take that further, there are cameras everywhere. You're holding one in your hand, I have one in my pocket. There are more cameras on planet Earth than there are people now. So the next question is, how do we use those cameras to create a society that is safe without invading all of our privacy? So most of us in Western democracies don't want to see an authoritarian regime like we see perhaps in China or elsewhere, where they're using cameras to track everybody everywhere. That is invasive. But cameras can also protect us by identifying when there's someone who might need help or somebody who's being attacked. And so we think that is the great challenge of our time, is how do we build the right technology to build a world we want to live in. And the example I use is we want to build the future of Gene Roddenberry. He's the creator of Star Trek. You look at the Star Trek series, they have weapons that don't kill. They had technology that could wirelessly communicate. Technology elevated humanity in that storyline. We don't want to build the future of George Orwell, you're right, who shows a world where technology is used to repress people's freedoms. And we think that's doable if you're careful and thoughtful about how you build the technology and cooperating with government regulators to put the right safety guidelines in place. So AXON, we've grown from a garage, 2 people, to now a $15 billion public company, but we're just getting started. If I do my job right and we do our job right, in another 25 years, you might see police aren't even carrying guns anymore because they're carrying new weapons that don't kill people. And we'll see crime rates drop because cameras will be used to identify when a crime is happening and intervene immediately to protect people and to stop criminality. So, you think about the world we live in right now, there's so many problems to solve related to safety and security. We're going to go solve them. And when we do, that is the foundation of our business. So we're just getting started.